So there are a couple different types of anchors, okay? And different types of anchors are designed for different types of ocean bottoms, okay? There's the Danforth, there's the Plow, there's a Bruce, there's a Mushroom, okay? All of these anchors are designed for different types of bottoms: clay, sandy, muddy, rocky, coral, okay? Permanent anchors versus non-permanent anchors, which we call a mooring versus an anchor. The anchors we have are called Danforths. This is a Danforth anchor, okay? It's got a shaft, it's got two flukes. These flukes rotate on the shaft at about, I don't know, 20, 25 degrees maybe, right? And they're designed for clay, sandy, or muddy bottoms. Everything attached to the Danforth anchor is called rode, okay? So this is the anchor rode. The chain and the line is anchor rode. The length of rode you let out is called scope, okay? So the anchor rode scope to depth ratio for a Danforth anchor is 7:1. For every foot it is deep, you're letting 7 feet of scope out, okay? So if it's 10 feet deep, it's 70 feet of scope. If it's 20 feet deep, it's 140. If it's 30 feet deep, it's 210. Okay? Each anchor has a little bit different ratio. Now, the ratio for this is based on the fact if you want to spend the night on the anchor, right? You want to make sure that it's good and set and it doesn't drag on. Okay? Now, the J22s have 8-pound anchors, about 5 feet of chain, and about 80 feet of line. This line is made of nylon. Why is it made of nylon? Stretches, right? So when you want to go anchor, you want to find some place that's about 10 feet deep because you have a little over 80 feet of rode. Okay? You can look on the chart, and you want to find some place on the chart, right, where the wind and the current are congruent with each other, right? They're running somewhat parallel as best you can, right? You don't want to have a place where the current's going one way and the wind's going the other way, because then it's going to fight when you're on the anchor the whole time. And you find that place, you pull the anchor out, right? Put it on deck, uncoil it. You want to take the end of your anchor rode, and please, whatever you do, tie the end of the anchor rode off before you put the anchor in the water. I can't tell you how many anchors I've lost because I put the anchor in the water, I'm paying out line, and all of a sudden, oh, shit, there it goes, right? I just basically threw the anchor in the water and then threw all the line in the water. It doesn't float, it sinks, right? So please tie the end of the anchor rode off, okay? The other thing that I see a lot of people do that you don't want to do is throw your anchor out there, right? If you throw the anchor in the air and the chain gets caught in the flukes, then it's not going to work right? That doesn't really work. So you want to drop the anchor off your bow, okay? So you get to wherever you're going to go, you drop your sails, you pull the anchor, you drop it down, and you just let the line fall, okay? That's going to tell you, guesstimate about how deep it is, right? If it's 10 feet, then you know you're in a good spot. You're going to let 70 feet out. So you're going to keep paying line out, okay, until you get to about 50 feet. And then you're going to stop and you're going to kind of jerk it a little bit, okay? When you jerk it a little bit, what that does is that takes the flukes, turns it towards where you are, and then the flukes will automatically start digging into the clay, sandy, or muddy bottoms, okay? You go 60 feet, do the same thing. 70 feet, go ahead and tie it off. Once you tie it off, you're going to go back to the cockpit. You're going to sit down, and you're going to take a reading from the winch to a tree or a building, right, or a rock on land, something that doesn't move, right? And you're going to sit there, and you're going to do whatever you're doing, talking or whatever, and don't move for like 5-10 minutes, and then look back at that tree, rock, or building, making sure it's still lined up with the winch or shroud or whatever thing on the boat, the mast, right? So that way you know that your anchor is good and set. If not, you're dragging. And if you're dragging, you need to pull your sails up, pull up the anchor, sail in a little closer or wherever, and then reset your anchor. Okay? So what's important here to understand is Danforth anchor. Everything attached to the anchor is rode. What you let out is called scope, and it's a 7-to-1 scope to depth ratio. Okay, any questions on that? You guys want, that's good. You want to take a picture?